dignitaries, keynote speakers, and research scholar to the second half of the first day of International Conference on Data Science, Machine Learning and Application 2021. Well said by the Dave Waters, a baby learned to crawl, walk, and then run. We are in the crawling stage when it comes to applying machine learning. With that note, I am now heading towards our next plenary session 2, Data Science and Machine Learning, to explore more about the concept of machine learning and data science. It's my privilege to welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Abbas Al-Bakri. Welcome you, sir, who is currently not available due to certain reason, but he has sent his recorded words, which I am going to play. But before moving to our next session, let me give a brief introduction of Dr. Abbas Al-Bakri. Dr. Abbas Al-Bakri, PhD in Computer Science, Artificial Intelligence, Chancellor of the University of IT and Communication in Baghdad, General Chair of NT-ICT Annual Conferences, Editor-in-Chief of International Journals, Program Chair of ICCM and ICNT International Conferences. He has also awarded the Medal of Scientific Excellence with the 35 Iraqis scientists in 2013. In 2018, awarded a Best Application in KOICA International Competition. So I'm going to share his video. Just a minute, I'm just going to share it. Okay, no problem, Varsha. Okay. Play it, Varsha. ये तो लिखता हुआ नहीं है। Varsha, can I play it? Ma'am, some actually
is opening.
No, it is opening. Okay.
You just stop sharing, Varsha.
Okay.
Okay. I will try, okay?
No, ma'am, it's going to work right now, I think.
Is it visible?
Thank you.
Is it visible, Varsha?
Yes, yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Okay.
The impact of artificial intelligence systems and data frameworking. So we, according to the partner leadership, the result we get, positive, negative, good or bad, are a result of our actions. Our actions are a result of our beliefs we hold, and the beliefs we hold are a result of our experience. So in the following pyramid, we can see that experience is the base of the pyramid, and then beliefs, actions, and results. For a human brain, we deal with the sensory input. So according to the human brain, the capability to gather sensory input using different scenes in parallel, we can see, we can hear, we can touch, taste, and smell at the same time. For example, if the outside temperature is very high, sensed by the skin, the brain generates trigger within the lymphatic system to generate sweat and bring body temperature under control. Many of these responses are triggers in real time and without the need for the construction action. For the storage, we think that the storage is very important to become to the terabyte in electronic computers. We understand that the brain store information in the form of the linked list and can retrieve in a very efficient way. For the processing power, also that we see that the previously stored information make decision within a fraction of millisecond. This is possible to the network connections, network of neurons and their interconnections. So the human brain processes 100 billion neurons with 1 quadrillion connections. For the energy of the conception, the brain of human is take a very less energy for sensing, storing, and processing information. So the power requirement in the galleries or what insignificant computer to equivalent to the power required in the electronic machine. For the electronic brains of computers, we can see that the computers can read and store high volume of information at an enormous speed, storage capacity exponential increasing, and the information is replicated. This is very important. The information can easily replicated and transmitted from one place to another. So more information we have at the disposal of the analysis pattern and modern formation that of the more accurate our to take our decision. Our electronic computers can use a brute force. So distributed computing system can scan, store, calculate, and run various types of computing very large volume of data within a millisecond. So computers are very easy to network and collaborate within in order to increase the collective storage and processing power. What are the best of the two worlds? With artificial intelligence, we can gather the advantages of both the worlds, is electronic brain and the human brain, and drive intelligent machines. So at this point, the artificial intelligence will complete human capabilities and will be step closer to the social inclusion. And also, for example, for that, epidemic prediction, disease prevalence based on DNA sampling analysis, self-driving cars, robotics that work with the hazardous conditions and machine assistant for differently able people. For this table, we can looking for the AI before big data and AI after big data. For the left-hand side, which is the AI before big data, we find that availability of limits in data sets in megabytes, where the availability for ever increased data in terabytes, limited sample sizes in before big data, and now massive sample sizes resulting in increasing model accuracy. And on the other hand, the ability to analyze large data in milliseconds. With the big data, we can large data analyze in milliseconds, batch-oriented in AI without big data. We can deal with real time, slow learning curve. The other hand side, the accelerated learning curve, limited data sources, and with big data, we can deal with heterogeneous and multiple data sources based on mostly structured data sets. With the big data, based on structured and semi-structured data. We're going to design our models according to the using the big data as the core of the pyramid we can see in this figure. So the big data is the base of the pyramid, and then we can model the hypothesis after that, actionable insight, and then get our results. According to Peter Norvig, who is the research director in Google, he defined the big data that we have more and more data at the moment we haven't better algorithms. So the human evolution, handwritten text on and punch card machines, magnetic tapes, hard drive, floppy disk, CDs, DVDs, SDDs, human DNA, and more. So we get more and more something to store data with less space. And also the innovation of the Internet of Things, which is drive a very large and exponential large of data. So there are three main attributes with the big data we can consider: the velocity, the variety, and the value. For the value, we think that's very important to think with, and they can drive a new view for how to treat this huge value. As example, if a patient's protein visit a clinic now generates electronic data in the tune of megabytes. On the other hand, the flight traveling from one point to another can generate half of terabytes of data. For velocity, we need a velocity. We need a high velocity for the deal with the big data. So the healthcare is a great example of the velocity and the data generation. And this is an action for the mission critical. In this figure, we can find the growing data volume, velocity, and different decades. So 1992, 100 gigabyte per day, 1997, 100 gigabyte per hour, 2,200 gigabyte per second, 2013, 28,000 gigabyte per second, and 2018, 50,000 gigabyte per second. We can describe the intelligence here with how we can direct the intelligence with the data science or big data. We can consider the 4 P's, which is perceive, process, persist, and perform. In order to develop artificial intelligence, we need also model our machine with the same cyclical approach, so that we can think for 3 layers of intelligence: the linguistic intelligence, which is the ability to associate word to object and use language. We mean vocabulary and the grammar to express meaning. And the second layer the second level, which is logical intelligence, which is our ability to calculate, quantify, and perform mathematical operation and use basic and complex logic of inference. Interpersonal and emotional intelligence, the third layer, which is our ability to interact with other human beings and understand feelings and emotions. We have three different tasks here for the intelligence. Basic tasks, which is related to the perception, common sense, reasoning, natural language processing. The second task, which is an intermediate task, deals with the mathematics and games, and expert task, which is deals with the financial analysis, engineering, scientific analysis, and medical analysis. For the frameworking, using the trends of AI with the big data, we can show the value derived from the big data, which is variety and structure and high value of size. And for increasing the velocity, we can think for two categories of the modeling. The first one is the batch processing. So according to the data warehousing system, we can consist of extract, transforming, and loading the data for analysis and actions, which is ETL. Well, this is for traditional data warehousing. On the other hand, now data can extracted and loaded and transformed respectively for the analysis, ELTT, which is stand for to ELT. So we can find the left-hand side, the traditional data warehousing, extract, transform, and load data. On the right-hand side, we can find the modern data warehousing, which is switched to extract, load, and then transform. An example for the batch system, which is a monthly report of the student attendance data, will be generated with a process as a batch. And at the end of the calendar of month, this process will extract the data from source systems, load it and transform it for various reviews and report it. The more popular processing from working for this side is Apache Hadoop. The primary building block of Hadoop is the Hadoop distributed file system. On the other hand, we think for the real-time processing. Here we consider deal with the new things, a new approach to deal with how we can consume, how we can find new techniques in order to deal with the real-time processing. So, for example, in the credit card fraud detection system, the alert should be generated as soon as the first instance of logged malicious activity. There is no value if the actionable insight is available as a result of the end of month processing. So the idea of the real-time processing framework is to reduce the latency between the event time and the processing time. In our ideal system, the expectation would be to become zero. There are three types of this model, the real-time model. Is Apache Spark, and Apache Storm, and then Apache Flink. The Apache Spark is the distributed execution engine, and they relies in memory processing based on default tolerant data abstraction named RDDs. And Apache Storm is a framework for distributed real-time computing. And the Apache Flink is a framework of efficient distributed high-volume data processing. The key feature of the Flink is automated programming optimization. What are the intelligent applications with the big data? We have different applications, and we can focus on the natural language processing, fuzzy logic systems, intelligent robotics, and the smart advising system. This figure, we can find the artificial intelligence, the main pool, and the center of this pool is the logic system, then machine learning, and after that we can consider with the deep learning. For the trends with the 2025, big data has become a brilliant concept in all key technical terms. So according to the recent survey, the global data marketing is projected to become to $103 billion by 2027, which is double its projected demand in 2018. The trends with the big data, first we consider the cloud data will shape customer experience. So the future of trade of big data analytics was related to using information to enhance customer experience. Second, augmented analytics will speed decision making. This means that the augmented analysis is shaping big data and future trends. And the third, chief data officers to be a limelight, which is a very important that the chief data officers an official level responsible for information access, integrity, and security in the organization. IoT and big data sync features. This is a very important trend. Big data is advancing organization to achieve better results. According to the software development, says 42% of the association that have IoT solutions, and 5 actionable data will be quickened. We think that actionable data for faster processing, and we can consider for this topics is very well. 6, cloud technology will make big data more accessible. We think that the cloud with the cloud computing, that's we allow all people to access application from anywhere. And last one is metadata system will be smarter. We think that the data, if we deal with data about the properties of other details, this allows the vast data measure to be restricted, captured, mixed, and most importantly, handled in the distribution